We are still looking at set operator, using the set operators. And we said after completing this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Describe set operators. Use a set operator to combine multiple queries into a single query. Control the order of rows returned. That we have done in the last class. What we actually want to do today is matching the select statement, which we've done in our previous class, but there are times in which the select list will not be the same. Are you with me? Because the expression in the select list of the queries must match in number. You can use dummy columns and the data type conversion function to comply with this rule. Now, what is it? What am I saying? Using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, and the state where it is located. To achieve this, you must match data type using the toucher function or any other conversion function when columns do not exist in one or the other table. Let's take, for example, we'll probably be using the department table and the location table, right? If you click here, this is the department table, and then this is the location table. Under this department table, you click on data, we have department ID, department name, manager ID, location. You can see that we have location ID here. Then under this location table, we have location ID, street address, postal code, city, state province, and country ID. This is saying, using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, and the state where it is located. So let me just copy that. Now I'm putting this as a comment. So this is the question. Using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, and the state where it is located. So we are going to use two tables. We are going to use the department table and the location table. Now, let's do this. Select star from department. Then I end this and I say select star from locations. So what we want to do now is to join these two tables together. If I run this one, you can see I have how many? 27. Can you see? I have 27 rows returned. 27 rows returned. If I run this one, I have 23 rows returned. So if I'm going to combine this table and this table together using the union operator, you know what union does? Union will remove duplicate. So if there is any row in this department table that is also in this location table, union will only present that row once. It won't present it twice. But if there are no duplicates, it means that my department table is giving me 27 rows. My location table is giving me 23 rows. It means that when I use the union operator to combine this table and this table together, I am supposed to get 50 rows returned. Are you with me? That is the union. I'm supposed to get, because this is a select statement and this is another select statement. So the work of a set operator is to combine this statement and this statement and this statement, which is this query and this query together, and give me an output. I have two tables, which is, let me separate them like this. Let me bring this down. So I have department table and I have location table. So under department table, when I run it, I am getting department ID, department name, manager ID, location. And it's giving me 27 rows. That's what it's giving me. Now, I have location table. When I run this one, it's giving me the location ID, street address, postal code, city, state province, and country. You can see that we have more columns in this one. In this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. In this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 columns. So the columns are not matching. We have more columns here than here. So what we want to do today now is to match the columns. Using the union operator, display the location ID. So in this department table, I have location ID. So there is location ID. Department name, I have department name. So I have 2 columns here. And the state where it is located. Now I don't have state in this department table. Can you see it? I don't have state column here. But in this location table, when you execute it, I have location ID. But I don't have department name here as a column. And I have state province, which is what we are actually looking for. So that means I need to bring out 3 columns from the department table, and I need to bring out 3 columns from the location table. But the 3 columns I'm going to bring out, they are not matching. So I need to make them match, because the rule is that using a set operator, you must have the same number of columns in the first query present in the second query, and they must have the same data type. So if I'm going to bring out display location ID, if I'm going to bring out location ID, so I'm going to say, let me return this one back like this. So I'm going to write my query for this problem, this request. I'm going to write my query for it now. So the query will be select. Now I am expected to bring out display the location ID. So location underscore ID. That is available in department table. Department name. So this one I will put like this. Then department name, department underscore name. That is also available in the department table. So I'll put comma. Then this state, the state where the department is located, this state, I don't have it in the department table, but I have it. So let me just leave this one like this. I'll say from department. From department. Now, I will now say union. The question is, using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, and the state where it is located. So I'm expected to bring out 3 columns in my output. My final output should give me 3 columns. So I'm going to say union. Let me bring this down like this. So this is my query. I'll say, let me use some more letter. So this is the union operator that they asked me to use. Now I'm going to now bring out my second query, my second select statement. Here I will say select location underscore ID, comma. Now, under this location table, I don't have department name. I have location ID. That is why I'm bringing it out. So location ID from the department table, location ID from the location table. But I don't have department name. I don't have department name. Then, but I have state province. Are you with me? So I'm going to put here state underscore province. Now from location. Now this is my query. Then I will terminate it here. This is my query, but it's not complete. I am expected to bring out 3 columns. So department name and then state province. Now, since I have location ID here, department name here, and I don't have state province, it means that state province, I will now introduce a dummy column. That's what I'm saying. I have to introduce a dummy column that will represent this state province. So I'm going to say, and that dummy column, I'm just going to supply null to it. So that is a dummy column. everything in that column will be null. Then in this location table, I don't have department name, so I want to put it in the same place, null. Then I'll have this. So now I have three columns. I have three columns: location ID, department name, and null from department table. In location, I have three columns: location ID, null, state province from locations. Now I have introduced a dummy column in order for me to have three columns matching. Three columns matching. So, but what I want to do is that I need to ensure that the data type are the same. So for this null, what is the data type for state province? If I run this, if I look at this location, yeah, I have it here. If I click on column, look at state province. The data type is variable character. Can you see that? Data type is variable character, varchar. Now, for me to use this null here, I need to convert it to that data type. So I'm going to use my conversion function. So I will say to char, that is to character. So I am putting this like this. So in order for me to have the same data type with the data type of this state province, that's why I'm doing this. So I am supplying this null to a character function to convert this, to make this column the same data type with state province. Now, if I look at this department name under department table, when I click here and I click, yeah, department name. If you look at this department name is also variable character, varchar. So it means that I also have to convert that one too to varchar. Now, I will come here. This null too, I have to supply it to char. You remember this function? We have done this function. So this is it. Now I have location ID, department name, but in this place now, look at the name that is having. Look at the name is having. So I want them to have the same name. Here, I'm just going to give it an alias. I will give it an alias and I will put it in double quote so that it will come out the exact way I want it. Department. So this is the alias for this department name. The alias for this department name. The reason why I'm supplying this alias is so that I'll be able to have it here. I'm going to explain my query. Hold on. Department. Then for this one, this tocha, this state province, I'm just going to give it like department name and the state where it is located. So display the location ID, department name. So I can say warehouse location or department location, which is this one. I can say department. I will also put it in double quote. I'm giving it an alias, department location. I will leave it like that. I will explain. Just hold on. I will come here, give it an alias, department location. Okay. So now I have my query complete. What did I do? This is the question, or this is the problem I'm to solve. Using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, and the state where it is located. So I'm going to use two tables because I have location ID and department name in one table, which is department, which is this department. Department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID. So I have location ID and department name in this place. I don't have state. I don't have the state where the department is. I don't have it here. I have that state in location. Yeah. So location ID, street address, postal code, city, state province. Now this state province is what I want. So it is here. Now I am going to combine this table and this table. Are you with me? I'm using set operator. So this set operator is to return, it will query everything in this table, return it with everything in this table. If there are duplicates, meaning what is here, it will return it only once. But if there are no duplicates, it will return all the rows from this department table combined with all the rows from this location table. Now, with the way it is, we will never have similar rows. So there will be no repetition. It means that this query is going to give us 50 rows because this location table is returning 23 rows, while this one is returning 27 rows. So this query will return 50. Now, I'm just going to run it, then I will explain what you're looking at. Look at this. You can see that I have location ID, department, and then department location, the exact way I wrote it. So what did I do? I said location ID, department name. Then this department name, I gave it an alias as department. I will explain why I gave it an alias. Because in this location table, the second column is a dummy column that I introduced to stand in for this department column in the department table. Now, in this department table, I have a dummy column introduced to cover for this state province here. This dummy column here, null, is covering for this department name. While this null in the department table is covering for the state province. This is to enable me have 3 columns in both tables. So I am bringing out 3 columns from both tables. 2 originally in each of the tables, while 1 is a dummy column that I'm introducing. Now, when I'm introducing a dummy column, I must ensure that that dummy column is carrying the same data type with the corresponding column in the second table. So since I have department name here, this department name, I checked it to see the data type. The data type is variable character. So I have to supply this my dummy column that I brought into this look. I have to supply it to a character function, which is tochar, data type conversion function. Tochar, that is, convert this to a character so that it will be the same data type with this column. Because if they are not the same data type, it will throw you an error. Then I gave it an alias. Why? Because I just want the name of this column and the name of this column to be the same. That is why I gave it an alias, department. Then in this last column of the department table, since I have state province, to match it, that's why we call it matching of the select statement. We are matching the columns to be the same. So this column, to match with this state province, I have to check this state province and see the data type, which I did, and I realized that it's also variable character. So the dummy column I'm supplying to stand in for this, to match with this, has to be the same data type. So I supply that null to what? To the tochar. So this function is going to convert the null to variable character. And then I gave it an alias, department location. I put it inside a double quote so that it will come out in uppercase and with this space like this. That's why I put inside a double quote, so that it will come out exactly the way I have written it. I have taught you that before in one of the classes. So that's why I'm putting it in double quote. Now, the same alias I'm supplying to this one here. So from department, from location, union. Now, my output, what is the union operator going to do? The union operator is going to name my columns using the first select queries column. This one. So this my column name, location ID, department, and department location is coming from this first query. It's coming from the first query. And then, since I'm using union operator will do the arrangement. It will give me in ascending order. That is what it's doing here. So you can see, starting from location ID 1000, 1100, 1200. If I had used union all will not arrange it like this. It will not order it. It will just bring it out anyhow. But union will order it using the first column. And that is what it has done. It's using the first column of the first select query, which is the location ID. It's using that one to order my output. So if you look at this, you can see it gave us 50 rows. It brought out 50 rows. So anyone you look at, like this one now, you can see that we have location ID 1700, and then we have department name. This one, you will know that this row is coming from the department table. So matching of the select statement is to ensure that you have the same column from each of the tables, that their columns must match and the data type must match. And then we can now introduce the order by clause. Yes, that one, even though you can see this one now, this union did the ordering using the location ID, and it ordered it in ascending. Assuming I want to order it descending, that means I have to introduce order by clause. But that order by clause will be introduced in the compound query. So when you have these two queries like this is the compound query. Now my order by clause will have to come after the last select statement. So I will now say order by, let me use small lowercase, order by. Then in this one, I can decide to use the column position, though I have the same name, location ID. And if I say order by location ID, it's going to use the location ID of the first query. So I can say order by location underscore ID. Then I will say descending. You see, I'm asking it to arrange it, order it in a descending order. This one is ascending. So when I run this, you can see this is descending, going from the highest to the lowest. So now it's taking from the location ID, highest location ID, and then it's going down. But when I didn't put this order by, the union operator did the ordering ascending, going from the lowest to the highest. Are you with me? Now, I did this order by using the location name, but I can use the location position, the column position. So instead of typing location ID, I can say 1. It's the same thing as ordering with the location ID. That is, this 1 simply means the first column. So when I run this, it's still going to give me the same answer. I can say order by department name. So I can change this one now to 2. If I change it to 2, order by 2, meaning I'm using the column position to do my ordering. You understand me? So if I run this one, you see, it's using this department to do the ordering. So it's descending. So it's using, the descending is starting from the null. If it is ascending, the null will be below. You can see. Now, if I remove this descending, and then I run it, you can see it's starting with a department name. Now, all null values will be down. See, all the departments that have null will now come at the bottom. See, will be down. So this I'm doing my ordering. Now, if I say order by, if I put the third column, so that means it's ordering by department location. So it's ordering by department location, which is the third column. And then you can see it's now bringing all the ones that are null at the bottom. But if I put descending now, it's going to order, the null will be up. Can you see? So the null will be up, then all the other locations will now be down. So this brings us to the end of our set operator.